difficult podcast because here we will remix education with real life issues happening in our country today. So, like corruption and inequality, guiding us to two heavyweights in philosophical education, George Counts.
And Theodore Bravo. Counts believe that teachers should act as change agents, challenge injustices, and rebuild society, while Bramwell, on the other hand, he pushed for critical thinking, open dialogue, and cultural inclusivity.
And let's give it up for.
So hi everyone, I'm Sai. Hello, I'm Raycia.
And hello, I'm Kirby.
So we will mix their ideas into one modern philosophy and explain how it worked in real life classrooms today. So Cyra, let's start with you. What is George Kahn's philosophical thoughts about education?
Counts believe that schools should prepare students to transform society, not just adjust to it. He wanted education to address real-life issues like poverty, inequality, and injustice.
Thank you so much, Cyra. How about Bramwell, Raycia?
So Brahman added the critical dialogue. So for him, schools or classrooms should be the spaces where the students learn, question assumptions, debate, or even learn from diverse cultural voices. So he believed that education should be inclusive and not limited to Eurocentric perspectives.
Yeah, so as philosophers, we tried combining them. And when we mix those two ideas together, we call it critical reconstructionism.
Critical constructionism.
So yeah, it's basically preparing students, and equipping them the skills they need in conversing with other people, give them the right skills for talking to others, as well as to encourage them in partaking in rebuilding our society. So that's what it is.
Okay, so Counts pushes for change, while Bramwell, he is pushing for the critical thinking, open dialogue, and cultural inclusivity. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So exactly. So schools becomes engine for transformation guided by responsibility, justice, and dialogue.
Yes.
So let me throw in some questions to our guest. So just Raycia, do you think that teachers today can be our agents for change, or most are still stuck in the traditional way of teaching?
So for me, teachers today are considered as agents for change because they are no longer just providing knowledge, but they are also the facilitator who will help the students in their learning and connecting those learning into real life situations.
So thank you, Raycia.
If you would describe the critical constructionism in just 3 words, what would they be?
I'm describe in 3 words the social construction. In 3 words will be empowerment through education.
Thank you so much.
So Kirby, imagine you're already a teacher. How would you apply Bramwell's and Counts' philosophical thoughts on education in your classroom?
I think as much as I can, I'd expose my students to real world problems and gain their insights or what solution would they propose in such real world problems. That's what I would do.
Okay, thank you for your insights and idea about George Counts and Theodore Bramwell's philosophical thoughts on education.
Welcome, a special guest. I'm Teacher T from San Miguel Elementary School of Das Pariñas, Cavite.
So, ma'am, thanks for being here today. My question for you po is, do you think you're a teacher that is agent for change or still stuck in traditional way of teaching?
For me, as a teacher, I am an agent of change because I believe that the only permanent thing in this world is change. In applying and teaching and learning strategies, I believe we need to align the interests of our pupils so that we can easily catch their attention and so that we easily get their interest. another thing is teachers are flexible. Nowadays, we are using technology in our teaching learning process because using games makes learning enjoyable.
So thanks for being with us here today, ma'am. So your presence is much appreciated to our podcast. For me, this podcast or remake shows that education is both personal and political. Why? Because George Counts and Theodore Brandon's philosophical thoughts on education shows and encourage that students must act up and speak up for their rights and justice.
Yes, correct. So our voice is a very powerful thing that we can use because it can wake the senses and lead others into act. With so many problems in our society right now, our voice is a very powerful thing that we can use to make changes in our society. So remember, do not underestimate the power of your voice.
So the combined ideas of these two educational philosophers had a great impact in our life, especially right now as Filipino citizens. We are currently facing a lot of issues in terms of politics and governance, and both Bramald and Counts believe that education can help us to solve social problems and secure our future. Using these two philosophies can really change things. It can help students and other people to look at real life problems that's happening in our country and think about it critically. It can also help them to become a better citizen that's aware of the happenings in our country.
I think with all that being said, it is on now education should be at its utmost importance, and that it should be given more attention, and it needs change. That's all.
If there's one thing that we should remember is that education can be personal, political, and powerful all at once. So let's honor those teachers that raise students to speak up, question the system, and act for justice.
With critical voices and critical change. Up until next time.